In this video, we're going to go over some of the backpacking slang and nomenclature used on the trails. Now first off, I want to state by all means, I am not the expert and this is not the catch-all be-all list of terms and words people use. But most of these words are common enough that terms you might already even know and familiar with. So when I started out backpacking, I heard a lot of slang and I didn't quite understand the lingo at times. So let's jump right into it and prevent some confusion. Backpacking and through hiking. So backpacking is the activity. However, people will use the word backpacking to define a shorter backpacking trip via several days, which can also be a loop trail. A loop trail is where a person starts and ends their hiking trip. Through hiking, on the other hand, is used for hiking through the trail. So basically you start on one portion and you end at a different section. Most through hikers are known for doing long distances, and we're talking months on end backpacking, which is usually done in a season or during a year. These people are doing long trails such as the Appalachian Trail, the Pacific Crest Trail, and the Continental Divide Trail. The Triple Crown refers to the main three big trails: the AT, also known as the Appalachian Trail, the PCT, also known as the Pacific Crest Trail, and the CDT, the Continental Divide Trail. It's customary to go northbound on the coastal trails and southbound on the CDT, but everyone hikes their own hike, and that's not always the case, and people will do what they please. Nobo and Sobo. This one is simple enough. Nobo is northbound and Sobo is southbound, which refers to the direction you are traveling. I haven't heard of an Ebo or a Weibo for eastbound and westbound, but I imagine there aren't that many big trails that go laterally, with the exception of the American Discovery Trail. Along the trail, you'll meet other hikers. Some of these people have trail names. Trail name is basically a name you get while you're on the trail. It's basically a nickname. They can be picked for you, or you can come up with one on your own. How many of you can guess what my trail name is? Now on to tent nomenclature. Again, some of this might be self-explanatory, you might already know this, but someone that's new, they might not know some of these words. Alright, so your footprint. This is a separate floor to the tent to use as a ground cloth. It can be used as additional protection to your tent. It also helps keep the rain and floody conditions inside of your tent dry. Guylines, these are thin rope used to tie down and hold your tent into place. So in windy conditions, they're quite helpful. The vestibule is basically the front porch of the tent. It's a small storage area that is under the rainfly but outside the tent. This is the area I will store my gear. We got hiking gear terms. Bear bag or bear can, which is a storage method to keeping your food and odor items away from bears while at camp. Bear bags are generally hung, while bear cans are solid containers that bears can't open. Basically, they're bear proof. You'll store your food, trash, toiletries, anything with an odor in these containers, because while you're sleeping at night, you don't want bears rummaging through your stuff. Base weight, this is your total pack weight, which includes all your gear and consumables such as food and water. Gaitors. Gaiters are leggings that protect your ankles and prevent rocks from getting in your shoes. I generally wear pants, so I don't have to worry about wearing gaiters, but if you're doing trail work, sometimes it's nice to have those so they don't slip in your boot. Crampons. These are metal frames that are attached to your boots that help with traction during snow and icy conditions. You can get more aggressive crampons to use for ice climbing. Microspikes are similar to crampons, but not as aggressive in the spikes. Ultralight is another term I heard thrown around. Ultralight refers to the minimalist backpacking mentality, meaning each person defines what their ultralight will be. For example, I see a lot of people, they have their base weight less than 10 pounds. Okay, and this last section here is terms I've heard while on the trail or referring to trails. CATHOLE. A CATHOLE is a hole in the ground dug for human waste. Basically, you're pooping in a hole. So in accordance with the best practices of leave no trace principles, you want to dig a 6-inch hole in the ground 200 feet away from water and 200 feet away from the trail. Blaze or trail blaze is a mark on the trail. A blaze can vary in size, but it's generally a 2-inch by 6-inch strip of paint on a tree around eye level. This helps hikers stay on the trail. CAIRN, and that's with a C, is a pile of rocks or stones used to mark the trail instead of a blaze when there are no trees available. Generally, cairns are used above tree line and are used in the winter conditions when the snow is on the ground and you can't find the trail. PRIVY, which is basically a toilet. It's a hole in the ground. It can be built up as much to being like an outhouse, or it can be like a trough hole in the ground for a camp. Generally be a pile of dirt there, so you can sprinkle it on the human waste and help it decompose. Trailhead. This should be pretty self-explanatory, but this is where the trail starts, or a location to have access to the trail. Terminus is usually the last part of the trail, as in the terminal or the end of the line. It can also signify the start of the trail. It really depends on your direction. Trail angel. A trail angel is a volunteer that helps a hiker on the trail. It can be with a place to stay, a ride, or a shuttle to a certain area, even giving food and drinks. Now, trail magic are goodies given to hikers by trail angels. Goodies consist of food, snacks, water, anything that help the other hikers. And the last term I have here is 0 day. A 0 day is a day when you get off the trail to reset, relax, take a shower, resupply. Basically, you're not spending a day on the trail. Through hikers will generally use a 0 day on their long expeditions. Well, there you have it. The slang and hiking nomenclature I've heard over the years. Again, it's not the full list, just some of the terms I've heard, and these might be helpful for new hikers looking to get into backpacking. If you can figure out my trail name, post it down below. Again, like always, thanks for watching and enjoy the trails.